Your Excellency, the President of Ghana, Your Excellency, the President of Liberia, Your Excellencies, the former Presidents of Ghana and South Africa, Nananom, our distinguished religious leaders, and our distinguished diplomatic corps. Is there not a cause, once again, for us to gather here with this same sense of apprehension? There is a cause. And that is why we need, as a people, to continually reflect on this democratic structure. Democracy does not mean governing with lawless political parties. For you can govern a nation democratically without political parties. Because the tenets of democracy is first and foremost about the respect of the fundamental human rights and the respect of rule of law. And I have defined democracy as war of ideas fought with the weapons of rule of law. But that is not what we are witnessing in our country at this point in time. Let me, before I make my submission, that we just had a meeting with the Electoral Commission. And indeed, at this point in time, we know that our security agencies are not happy with what is going on. And we have all admitted over there that there is a genuine problem. It's not an issue of Electoral Commission manipulating the system. Indeed, we must all recognize that we've been deviled, or the Electoral Commission at this point in time is handling a technology, the high-end technology, that they themselves need their time in order to understand that technology and to deploy that. Again, we all know that the Electoral Commission cannot have permanent workers in such a high proportion. And for that matter, the same people that are being employed as presiding officers are truly the same people with these two political parties. There is a Goliath that all of us as a nation we are facing. And that Goliath is the political parties, the sense of impunity that we've seen, the lawlessness we've seen, how our religious leaders and our traditional leaders are bastardized on our airwaves. And we all keep quiet. Now the guns are there. The UK and the US, with consensus intelligence, have warned us. We are witnesses of this. We cannot window dress the reality over there. When the vigilante groups were dismantled, now all of us are seeing and witnessing the mutation in the form of keep fit. And whilst our religious leaders are advising us to pray and fast, those with the guns are eating a mutuo and beer. Our justice system is not also helping us. But there's one thing that helps us in democracy, and that is the universal adult suffrage of one man, one vote. And we can only do that with the tongue. It's my prayer that the extent with which we've allowed partisan politics to polarize us up to the extent that we want to destroy ourselves. For the 7 of us, I would rather wish that the 7 of us should be killed and the nation should have peace, rather than the nation should be destroyed. We have had situations.
We are not ready to die.
They are afraid of death. This is what they are telling me. If they are afraid of death, there's no need for anyone to kill because that person or that group wants any one of us to become the president of Ghana. They themselves are afraid. Please, we want peace. We really want peace. I would want to govern a nation that is at peace with itself. And I cannot govern a nation that is polarized. And that is why the independent presidential system is actually the solution to this apprehension that we have. We are talking about all-inclusive governance. Our ethnicity, that sometimes the political parties capitalize on, is a latent polarization. And when you bring the partisanship, it's just like a petrol. And the more they come closer, the more they explode. When we were experiencing military rule, that was when we said that Kenya was the star of Africa and the beacon of democracy. But now what is happening in Kenya? That time, Ivory Coast was also the beacon of democracy in Africa. And what has happened to Ivory Coast? People were prepared to kill themselves. The Ivorians, because of Alhassa Ouattara and Gbagbo, they've destroyed themselves, but both of them are alive. Innocent lives were lost. The Beninese learned from the Ivorian crisis. And when they found themselves in such a situation like this, they voted these political parties away, and they have found peace. I would want to end by saying that they say that the wise always comes from the east. Let Ghana and Africa look onto what has happened in Benin and vote for an independent presidential candidate. And in 2020, we will not come here and then gather here again in this same state of apprehension. Thank you, and may God bless all of us.